heading towards the inn of Dunes, and Moonfall passed downward towards the center. So let's capture this first fight here. Let's see who's going to be able to capture the first elimination here into this game here. But if it isn't these two fighting it out in the very section, it's going to be in Matab, and they're going to be duking it out immediately.
Yes, indeed. It looks as though Wang Liang is a podium enjoyer as he's landed there for a second game in a row. Oh, heading over to Plume Castle, Frostivus in that off-spawn situation that I was just talking about. If he's able to find this elimination, it could be huge for him, but he eats a crazy amount of damage. But thankfully, as we can see, he has that F1 to heal him back up, giving that little bit of damage reduction. It looks as though he may have slowed down on the chase, though. He doesn't want to get too oogly too quickly, as it could be his downfall, not having very many resources to work with. But we're heading on over back to Matab. We've got X-Shin on the chase. JLAS, he's not in a good spot at all. Effectively 300 HP to his name. There's not really all that much that he can do except run away, and it looks as though he may have found a breathing. He may have found the breathing room that he needed. Oh, no, Arano, he was a distraction for X-Shin just so that he could take up the chase himself. But oh, he just misses out on the R&B mid-air. JLAS, he's found that armor swap. He does have those purple dual halberds. So if he does find the opportunity to turn around, he is going to do a lot of damage to X-Shin. X-Shin only on those white nunchucks. So not all that much damage to speak of. Nunchucks are very strong, very good at chasing. But if they're white nunchucks, they don't do very much damage whatsoever. But oh! What do we have here? Wolves Kai Bao taking down JDG Verse. Very nicely done. Is he going to be able to take another one down? Jux taken extremely low here, forced to try and scale rush up, try and get out of danger, but it's pretty rough. Does he find the heal? No, he does not. Kai Bao not giving him any room to breathe. He's still on the chase. That Pulse Sword. Pulse Sword's not that good at chasing, though. Pulse Sword's not that good at chasing. It can be good in certain areas, but it's not that great. You can see that Kai Bao's kind of struggling to stay on his heels. Kind of a struggle. He's back out in the open. He finds the horizontal, and it looks like it might be cooked for him, and there it is! Wolves Kai Bao picking up his second elimination of the game.
Very strong elimination here that he absolutely needed here as AS is getting caught in the back. Not only that, but the bow absolutely putting some devastation on him as well here, as we do see the two players end up trying to catch him on the outside here, but X-Shin is going to capture that first elimination and steals it away from Arano, as Arano was kind of doing the same here, as Arano ends up getting drilled here by the dual halberds here. Definitely does not want to give that second opportunity here for it. It looks like he will be able to, though, as he absolutely decimates those heals. Doesn't give him that opportunity, tries to find another shield. It looks like he is able to find the next shield swap. The question is he going to be able to do a lot more, as those nunchucks are putting in absolute damage under X-Shin. X-Shin not putting out and leaving without a fight here. He wants to keep that going, but it looks like it's going to mean a sacrifice for himself, as Arano is going to keep that same energy, keeps that pressure onto him, and captures that elimination with the nunchucks really causing that issue. Wow.
He is indeed. He had that F2 on the zipping. So he knew that the enemy would have to blue focus him if he wanted to stagger him, but he still just he calls his bluff twice, but it doesn't go well for him, and he eats a bunch of damage. He's not able to stay on his feet, unfortunately. Frostivus here, though, this is exactly what I was talking about. If he doesn't find that pop-off early game that you kind of need on zipping for it to be fruitful, then you kind of get stuck in the mid game, just sort of wandering around looking for any loot that you can find and trying to find a just anything that you can, because you can't get the ball rolling all that effectively. You can move in the herd if there are lots of other zippings, but if there aren't all that many zippings close by, then it can be kind of hard to actually do all that much and find those eliminations, as you don't do insanely well in an isolated 1v1. Although it's good, it's not that good. But Wang Liang, speaking of good, he's got that gold fan and absolutely obliterating his opponent, picking up his second elimination of the game. Very nicely done. Does XXY res here? Does he do it? It looks as though he might. considering that Wang Liang is already onto his next victim. Arano has been spotted out on the Shial. He doesn't have ultimate, but he's going in. He's getting spicy. He does have that F2. He tries to find the catch, but Wang Liang with that F2, he's able to scale rush out of that tiny little spot, that tiny little building. But, oh, speaking of escape, it doesn't look as though X-Shin is going to be able to escape the clutches of GG Shah. So unbelievably low. He's scale rushing around. He's trying to find the movement. He's trying to stay on his toes, but he's struggling. He does manage to find the armor swap. Only a white armor swap, though, and it's not going to be enough in the face of that purple hang sword. And he gets absolutely sliced and diced by GG Shah, who also picks up his second elimination of the game. Definitely a much slower game. A much slower game. Our ACOS's Verse and AS haven't managed to find any eliminations. They haven't managed to find those isolated 1v1s, it seems. And, actually, as I say that, Verse is fighting it out in the northwest side of the zone here. Who is he up against? I can't tell. Oh, Akame. He's scrapping it out against Akame in this weird terrain situation. Akame is fighting back, but he gets parried. Verse going for that sliding uppercut into the jungle, down the terrain, manages to find it. He's chasing him. He's trying to find another opening. Akame is not going down without the fight, though. He still does have his ultimate available. He's still on the move, using that superior movement with the fan. The scale rush is fastest scale rush in the game, by the way, along with Dagger. He finds the blue focus, though, catches the horizontal, but the terrain, again, is going to prevent him from doing a damaging combo. Unfortunately, JDG Verse, he's still on the chase, though. He's not letting him go. He does have his ultimate available, and he's going to need to use it. He gets parried. The dagger sap, the short handle weapon sap coming out from Akame, topping up his health bar, and it looks as though he might be just looking to grapple out.
Looks like he's going to be able to grapple out. Meanwhile, the other grapples is going to see if they're going to have this opportunity inside of this realm of Yang here as they go airborne, but no connection needed here in this moment. Nice parry to connected, but a nice reset coming from Wolves Kai Bao here is he's going to be able to find the nice stun here towards this, trying to see if maybe they can go for the next scale. Oh, and he is beating him with the katana here. Let's see if they're going to use that towards his advantage here. Frostive is caught on the backside. Weird. What's wrong? You can't look that way. You can't have your back turned to wolves. That's how they catch you, especially when it comes to a wolf. You definitely don't want to get caught inside of the pack. As it looks like Frostive is dangerously low. Now he has to try to see if he can scale rush and get out of here. The timing for that F key couldn't be any better here. He's going to create that same pressure right onto him. Nice dodge, nice move. Frostive is dangerously low. Being able to pop the F key, keeping the game alive for himself. Now Wolves is dangerously low, and Frostive is able to turn the game around and keep it alive for himself. And that's why you pick the heels in that moment. And obviously the heels win in that game. As we look back into this next realm of Yang, GG fighting it out with T225. Trying to see if he can get with the strikes, though, from the rocket, but it's not going to be enough here, as both of them are just waiting out, and they're just missing as much as possible here. That's a lot of misses from each side here. So whiff, whiff, whiff. Meanwhile, GG Shaw is going to be able to catch the juggle, capture the finish, and T225 gets out as well. What was that? They just was like strike, dodge, strike, dodge, strike, dodge.
That's just the hang sword for you there. Well, we're heading back over to Metab, JLAS. He is engaging onto Arano. Arano with that Vermilion Bird's Might. He is not really bothered about taking fights. He'll take all of the fights, especially considering he has that gold set of nunchucks and the purple armor. He is on the chase. JLAS and Arano both having used their ultimates here. It looks as though AS, he's going to try and buy some time until Arano's ultimate expires here so that he can equalize the playing field, as that ultimate can be really difficult to fight through. You know, it's the kind of ultimate that, although it doesn't give direct aggressive advantages, it does in the sense that it's defensive. Because you're defensive, it allows you to be aggressive, and Arano is doing just that. But unfortunately, his ultimate has now timed out, and I think he's going to look for a little bit of a calm before the storm, before he gets that ultimate back up again. We're heading on over to T25, though, who's trying to find himself an elimination. He needs to find that Soul Bloom. He doesn't have one stashed this game, unfortunately. The only one who didn't have one stashed, it seems, and he's found his target. He has found AS. I'm not sure if he knows that he doesn't have his ultimate, but he is going in nonetheless, playing on these buttery rocks. This terrain situation is definitely rather difficult to get value out of a hang sword. He's taking it over to the flat ground. JLAS finds that huge blue focus damage. absolutely shredding that blue armor, making T225 think twice about continuing the chase. And oh my, Arano getting taken down here. He did have that Vermilion Bird's Might, so he's not dead just yet. But T225 taking a crazy amount of damage himself as well, forced to use that ultimate to try and disengage. He's jumping around, he's trying to find the heal, but Shah, he's on the chase. He spotted him out. He does get one heal, unfortunately for him, but it doesn't look as though it's going to be enough. The RMB Blue getting sent out. He's still jumping around. He's still trying to disengage. Metab, I have to say, is one of those places that it can be, it is definitely possible to find the disengage. However, every corner that you turn around, every corner that you go by, you can literally just find another person, and there it is. He finds 3 people all stacked together and gets absolutely obliterated.
What a well-timed play for some of these moments here. It's unfortunate that he was able to lose out on potential elimination inside of that fight, but with that Vermilion's Birthmight does give you that second chance. And, you know, we love a good set of second chances here inside of Naraka Bladepoint. And as we're gonna go for the rotations here, it's a different status so far. Action T225 out of this game. Frosted is still alive, keeping that consistency. And at this point, this is gonna be a good runaway game from him if he plays it well. If he plays it well, he gets a few eliminations, ends up in that top 3. Technically, he could. Okay, and this is not saying that he doesn't have to, but he can lose a game if he wants to. Like, he can obviously play smart and play well. He could play safe in the next 2 games if he really decided, like, you know what, I'm doing well. Sure. Let me not force my hand. Let me play a little more safe now that I'm finally starting to run away. That's if, depending on how well this game goes for Frostivus. And obviously, as of now, he gets his first elimination. The confidence is high. Obviously, he's going to use that to his advantage, knowing that he could potentially be able to climb up a little bit more. As we look back into the replays here between AS and Arano, in terms of how this Realm of Yang fight went, nice hits coming through from the connection. Slam's going to be able to do a decent amount of damage on Arano, but not too much here. The nunchucks, I don't know what happened, but them nunchucks has been a lot more lethal than I would assume, as AS ends up getting some decent hits, though. Beautiful strike coming in from those as well. Here comes a dual halberd. It's going to be able to come through and try to cause some issues here. Nice blocks coming through as well. The timing couldn't be any better, as he ends up catching him off that outside strike, throws him up like a nice beef patty, and serves them up well with some ketchup and mustard.
What do you like on your burger, Darby?
Definitely a little bit of both.
Your cheeseburger kind of guy?
I love egg on my burger for sure. Lettuce, tomatoes.
Eggs are solid pick.
Eggs are it's so incredible. Okay, listen, if you throw in like something extra too, sometimes, you know, they'll put like steak and stuff in it too. Like, they'll give you the burger and then they'll give you the steak like in the, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Depends on what you get. Sometimes it can be incredible. We look back into our next Realm of Yang game here. GG Shaw trying to see if he can hit him up top here with the bow, trying to see if he can get any more strikes, but it's not going to be enough here. Looks like he's going to be connected inside of this. Goes for the juggle, trying to see if he can get some nice strikes here, as he's able to, though. Beautiful hand as well into this. Now, obviously popping, making sure Arano pops that shield here, trying to see if they can get any more connection, but it's not going to be enough here. Is the shield really able to do a lot here? The question is he going to be able to do enough and get some damage with that as well? You can do as much blocking as possible. Without some of that damage, it's not going to be enough, and it looks like it's not. As Shaw is going to keep that and use that to his advantage. Listen, you can block as much as you want, but if you're not striking, what are you doing? You're just
exactly.
You're just baiting the inevitable, sir.
Indeed, and he does find the elimination. Looks as though Kai Bao needed a soul bloom there, and he managed to find one that he's left behind. Fortunately for him, by heading into this fight, this Realm of Yang, Wang Liang definitely in health advantage here, but it does look as though he might be cooked. He gets hit by the grapple combo. It's so unbelievably low. He doesn't have any cooldowns, but he takes out nonetheless. He finds the opening, dodges the jumping attack, and takes him down. Beautifully done by Wang Liang. Holy, the damage coming out from that golden fan, just doing so much work for him. And he's going to add a golden spear to his inventory. That is a feels bad. That is a feels bad. A Wang Liang, that's a feels good. He's definitely happy with this one. It's just though Arano, he's running on over back to Metab. We've had a lot of action in Metab this game. Arano, it's possible that he left behind a cheeky Soul Bloom for himself. He does look like he's going somewhere with purpose, so he might have one stashed away up here. Although it's somewhat unlikely, it looks as though he may have just spotted these players out who are lurking at the top, Frostivus being one of them, only on one elimination so far. But as you said before, you know, he's done extremely well in the first couple games. He doesn't need to pop off like crazy in this one. But yeah, it's what happens when you play zipping. It's what happens when you play zipping and you don't get a huge off spawn. You just don't really do all that much in the game, and you just hope to try and find a couple eliminations, a couple third parties potentially, and then look to try and play in towards that end game. XXY with that Yang depletion having been taken down by Wang Liang. He does find the bounty, so he's running straight on over to his bounty's location. But problem with Metab is that it can be very difficult to lock players down. There's so many avenues of escape, so many scale rushing lines that you can use, so many different places that you can go, and it's really hard to hold someone down, especially if they're playing something like zipping. So we're gonna have to see if he's able to find that Yang depletion cleanse, but it's going to be difficult. Arano with that F2 on the Shiol, both of these players with the Shiol, with the F2, with that Yang depletion, they're going to have to try and cleanse their Yang depletion as quickly as possible and try and find this elimination sooner rather than later as the timer is ticking down. But not only that, the third-party opportunities simply continue to grow. Arano here popping his ultimate along with XXY, the F2 coming through, the teleport coming through as well, the cannon shots coming in from Wang Liang, and just trying to grief, trying to take them down lower and lower to see if he can steal away one of these eliminations and prevent one of these players from cleansing that Yang depletion. Arano grappling up, he did get taken down reasonably low. The teleport coming in after the reset. Arano just managing to dodge past this pendulum, staying on his feet, but he still has yet to find the Soul Bloom. Look at this place. Look at this derby. There's so many players just lurking around this area. Is going to get crazy. Arano,
it's because they don't want to force anything. They don't want to force any of these fights because currently they kind of realize that it's not working. Right? Some of these players, especially some of these players are down at the bottom. AS, XXY, Verse, especially Verse. Verse has been caught in some really bad situations. He really has been struggling to win his 1v1s. He might be able to get something in terms of maybe a thirdsies, but currently it's not looking good as Arano caught in a tough space. He gets a bow shot off his elbow, and now he's trying to get out of Dodge's way as much as possible. Definitely does not want to get ducked in the wrong place at the wrong time here. It ends up getting carried by, at least countered by 2 different people here, and now he's trying to dip away as much as possible, but there's bow shots, and there's so much attacking happening from every which way, not getting caught on the outskirts, not looking good for him, and Shaw's going to capture the next elimination as well. And that's what I'm talking about. These problems in some of these areas here has been really bad for some of these players. XXY, the next player that's caught in between. Oh, do you want to go out next? Let's find out. As XXY might have been able to find himself a little bit of a moment here just so he can be able to get out. Finds the blue shield swap, but it's not going to be enough as now he's caught on the outskirts. Wang Liang wants this fight. He wants to get a free elimination off of him, but now he ends up getting absolutely swept out of the situation here. And now he's forced to dip out of here just in the nick of time so he doesn't end up getting out on the wrong side of this track. Meanwhile, like I said, XXY has been struggling. Like I said, down in 1 elimination, 11th place so far, 2.1 points in total. Wang Liang might be able to get himself a free elimination off of this as well. Beautiful parry, beautiful counter strike. He's going to be able to get that done. And Wang Liang is finally going to be able to get another elimination under his belt. 5 eliminations deep. But these players down here at the bottom have been nothing but fresh meat. Nothing but fresh meat for some of these players that's used to it. I'm talking about Wang Liang. I'm talking about XX. I'm talking about T225. I'm talking about Frostivus. Frostivus, surprisingly, with that 1 elimination so far here, like I said, he doesn't have to force a lot if he doesn't have to. He can just lay back, let everybody else do all this work. All he has to do is stay in the top speed. He'll be all right. He's doing okay.
Yeah, he is chilling, especially considering that Action and T225 have both already been knocked out in this game 3. But JL, very fortunately for him, managing to find that purple armor swap on the tracks of the Thorny Roller, narrowly avoiding it a couple times there. I thought we were potentially going to see a Thorny Roller grief, but fortunately for JL, that did not happen, and he's still on his feet. He's still chugging away. The chase has has been stopped here. But you know what started the ballista shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen? We love ballista shenanigans. And GG Shah, our current kill leader in this game, is going to give it to us. He is on the ballista, ready to absolutely obliterate any of these players who show their face. Jux, oh my, narrowly avoiding the ballista shot. JLAS though, he is not. He gets destroyed, and then Frostivus picking up the kill with the bow shot as well. Very nice for Frostivus picking up his second elimination of the game, slowly snowballing his lead further and further higher up the leaderboard. The GG Shah, he does have 6 kills this game. He's only on 10.9 on the total leaderboard, so he does have quite a ways to go yet. Still 12 points behind Frostivus. Frostivus, as we've said, he can just chill here, and he's doing a really good job of it. He's chilling and not being the target of the lobby at the same time. He's just sitting back with his bow, peppering Jux with bow shots. He's struggling. He's struggling. He only has 1 grapple left, so he's not in a good position. Speaking of not in a good position, Kai Bao is I think the only one in this lobby left with only blue armor. He does have 2 eliminations, so it's not that bad. But blue armor at this point in the game is not what you want to see. It's possible he might be able to find the purple armor that was dropped from Verse to pick up that gold armor.
Right.
But he's going to have to go over to the Morris Blessing. He's going to have to go over there. He is playing the Ferrier, though. If you're sitting on blue armor, Ferrier is a pretty decent character to be on, considering that you can buy a lot of time with that mech and stay alive and stay on the move. But if he gets spotted out, if more than one person sees that he only has blue armor, he's going to get lobbied, and he's going to have his cooldowns forced out. It's not what you want. So he's managed to do a good job of staying inconspicuous, but I have a feeling that it might not be for very much longer. We do have the Moonbane that got dropped down in the middle of the zone here. But this is what I was talking about, Lobby. This is what I'm talking about. It slowed it down. The Moonbane slowed down the lobby. It can be a catalyst for chaos, but at the same time, I feel that unless you're really forced to go into it, it's just going to slow everything down here. As we can see,
definitely is going to slow down, and I think it's going to slow down even more, because like I said, like they have to play to some sort of speed to get something. But some of these lower end players here, like Jux and Burst, they're gonna need to force, but they won't. Especially Burst. Burst has gold. He doesn't need to like really push anything if he doesn't have to. So now it's all about timing here towards this final circle, especially, like I said, letting the circle do a lot of the work.
I like how the zippings are just sort of running in tandem with each other. The zipping mafia just moving as a herd.
Definitely could be that statement here for that moment here, but let's see where that really does become a lot more of an issue, though. The more and more that it starts to close in here. Let's see if they can figure this out towards the end of this. As Jux,
only Justina,
get out of the scale. Definitely does not want to get caught in a corner here. So good move from Jux not being able to get caught in a tough situation here. As Verse still has to be able to rotate this around here. He's still the oddball out of this. Nice ball is going to be able to connect onto him, and not too much. As it looks like Wang Liang wants to try to see if he can create some problems for JDG. Somebody wants to get that gold here. Could be a huge advantage. Nice strike though towards the bottom here. Oh, ends up getting hit though from the backstretch, from that staff. From the pole staff.
The pole sword.
Wait, is he traded out?
He traded out for a white armor.
Oh.
But nobody's come to pick up the gold armor yet, so he can't grab the purple. He's kind of in a bad spot here. But he has managed to fend them off for a moment.
He needs to grab that gold. It's going to be tough, though. Somebody's going to swoop it.
But it's empty, though. If he picks it up, he gets mobbed. Okay, now that he's lost his white armor, now he can probably pick it back up, I think. He's not going to do so. It's so hard to survive at this point in the game with white armor. Not even 250 armor to his name. It is rough right here. Oh, the parry! Oh, it's cooked. It's cooked. He's gonna have to use his ultimate, and it's even though he does have that ultimate, it is going to be rough.
Definitely is
Oh,
going
the
to be
1
rough
HP.
towards the end
The
of it,
1
though.
HP.
Verge just trying to jump, move, dodge, doing whatever he can to be flying out of the sky, but it looks like Jugs is going to be able to capture his first elimination. Finally, after all this time here, might be able to catch a second, and he does! Just captures his second elimination, puts himself now in 6th place overall. Wait a minute. Jux might be able to could be closing this out too if he really plays his cards right. And if he does, this would be huge for him as a player overall here. But let's see if he does create this momentum and this movement together here, as we do see all of them all together, trying to see if they can rotate this towards the very bound and down towards the ending. Let's see if he can conjure it up. Oh no, the nice strike is going to be able to get a lot of shield away from Jux here. Jux has the opportunity here, potentially maybe for a strike here. But it looks like it's not going to be easy for him, though, as he's going to try to rotate this as much as possible. Scare rushes all the way up top here. He still has the chance. Nice bow, trying to see if maybe he can connect some damage onto it here. Question is, does he have a little bit of free space just to be able to heal a little bit? Yes, he does, just in the nick of time, just to get something here. All he has to do is keep scaling it just little by little here, trying not to get caught up in between both. Goes for the freeze, so that way he can maybe try to see if he can get some shield, but not enough here. He pops his ulti here. The question is he going to be able to capture at least somebody here into this Arctic Wraith? Looks like he does here.
No.
Nice strike, but GG Shaw is going to capture the elimination onto Jux. Jux trying to stay strong so hard towards that very end of the fight here, but it's not looking good, as Wang Liang might be the next one that potentially goes out. He gets hit dangerously low on shield. Beautiful parry to connect the counter onto it, though, as now he hits the cannon shots right towards Shaw. Shaw having no more shield, forcing to pop the totem, and now he's going to pop into his mech here, giving himself the opportunity to go for the shield here, but with 7 seconds left, or actually not 7 seconds, the circle is already closing in here. GG Shaw has popped his ulti a little too early. It's not looking good for him, though. He's going to have to absolutely dissolute this whole entire party of craziness here, as Wang Liang, the only one that doesn't have a mech here, being left out like a 5-year-old at a birthday party, definitely does not want to get caught up here in this tough situation. He ends up getting slammed up top here, and he's getting trampled next to it, as Wang Liang is just trying to get away. He says, listen, I'm not trying to get caught up in this beef. If y'all want to go fight that out, that has got nothing to do with me. Y'all can keep slamming down with all that massive amount of metal and all those rockets, but me personally, I'm not trying to get caught in none of that. Meanwhile, Wang Liang is going to slowly come down. Beautiful bubble timing too as well on the outskirts, but it's not going to be enough. Dangerously low. Shaw trying to keep it alive, but it's not going to be enough as Wang Liang